taking off from Valleyfield. Really nice stop here. And docked right by the Dairy Queen, so we felt right at home. It's going to be crazy this weekend. We're getting out just in time. Having some kind of speedboat races or something. First bridge coming to. It's already open. 2 boats went ahead of us. And then it looks like they haven't opened the second bridge up ahead because the boats are up there waiting.
We are underway on our trip from Valleyfield, where we stayed on the canal for 3 days, right across from Dairy Queen. And wonderful city. And we elected just to go about 30 miles today. We're going to go visit the town of Cornwall, so see what that's like. The other option was to go 54 miles, go through the 2 U.S. locks, and Rev and I yesterday, as we were talking about it, decided this is the better option. Let's take an easy day today, so we're looking forward to that. So our AIS gave us an alarm. Actually, I saw this thing coming about a minute before. Looked out there and said, geez, looks like there's a house coming toward us. And it is the G3 marquee, and I know that from my AIS information. We're traveling upbound at about 1100 RPM due to the current. We're only making about 8 miles per hour. But this baby, once you have an AIS, you'll be able to look up the information, see about that ship. She's around I'd say 850 feet long, so 226 meters, so whatever that works out to be. And more important thing is, downbound, she's going 14.4 miles per hour. So I expect a pretty good wake from here. So what I did was to ensure that he or she knew that I was coming, is I turned 10 degrees off course to the starboard, and I'm paralleling off my course about 150 feet off of the track to give him room. That way I signaled, hey, I saw him, and I'm coming back, and now paralleling the course and kind of hugging the red here. There's plenty of water. It's 31 feet. So what I'm going to be looking for is, hey, where is the wake? And we'll turn into that wake as we move along here, but obviously that is a big boat moving fast, and I can see it's pushing a lot of water, so I expect a little bow wave action. We'll see what we get here. So big freighter. Yeah, so here come a few waves here, and we've got a pretty good angle into them, so you're not rolling your boat to the side. We'll be coming back and forth here. There it is. Yeah, so we're cutting those at about a good 70-degree angle, which is comfortable. And we'll just come back to course. So, we're awake. Alright, I just came back from the restroom, and Rev is up here, and I gave her a little briefing before I left to go, and now she's going to tell me if there's any changes, the status of the boat.
No changes, everything's great. Boat's on autopilot, and we are on course. No change there. We are still green on the left, red on the right. Boat's turning, do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. So that's a turn there, and synchronizer's on, and everything is.
Yeah. Can you see that?
No changes.
No changes.
I love it.
Oh, you don't love it more than I love it.
Upbound on the St. Lawrence River, and we have about 15 miles to our destination of Cornwall. The current out here has just been kind of crazy. I've been setting a 1400 RPM and getting anywhere from 8.5 all the way up to 10. So depending on what section we're going through, it's kind of wacky. We had a little issue back there, a little bit of drama on the Here's to Us is I had the synchronizer on, which I have the synchronizer on right now. And the synchronizer, you switch on the synchronizer, and it's just a little wafer switch. You put the port throttle all the way up, and then this one matches the RPM. And we were going along. In fact, I had just gotten back from a bathroom break and sat down, was making some notes, and all of a sudden, boom! Like we didn't hit anything. It wasn't like a thud or anything. It was just like, all of a sudden we just slowed down, and I don't know what it was. So immediately, you know, we'll take it off the synchronizer is what I did. You know, I set about 1200 RPM and told Rev get the headset. So going down to the engine room, look down there, nothing. And only thing I can think is we either hit, you know, I don't know, some unexpected current. I've heard of, you know, on this area somewhere, but I thought it was more up in the Thousand Islands areas that there's this underwater waterfall that's up there. And so it's a strange currents. It might have been that. It might have been we picked up a rope because I thought I felt a little bit of vibration, but maybe that rope went off. We elected to take our line cutters off because they were giving us an issue every time one of them would slip and they were wearing. So being up here, I don't worry too much about lines, but if it was a rope or something that wrapped around, it's certainly off of there now. We have no vibration. I did call to see if the Marina, you know, they don't have an area there where you could get hauled out. Unfortunately, that would have been if we had to. But they did respond via email, called them and said, hey, do you have a diver? Because at that point I thought we were going to be limited on our RPM, and we might have to have a diver take a look at the underside. And they did come back. They said, hey, we can't do it in the marina. It's a city marina, and you would not believe the 4 pages of what I call B-nos. There will be no this, there will be no that, and one of the things is that there will be no diving or swimming in the marina, so they wouldn't allow a diver. However, they did come back with an email to me and said, hey, we found a diver, and they're willing to meet you over at a particular dock, and they will dive on the boat for, you know, $400 Canadian. Which was nice of them to go ahead and do that. So very nice folks there at Marina 200 that we're going into. I let them know that we don't need assistance at this point. So that's where we are. Well, the other thing is, you know, I mean, it could have been something in the fuel. So I'm going to go down, and I was going to change the rate cores the other day. And so take a look at the rate cores and maybe also change out the fuel filters. Maybe it was just something in the fuel system. I don't know. But in any case, the drama is over. You got to be prepared to think through those things. And instantly is, you know, I guess from my training in the Air Force and the airlines is immediately, you know, I look at the engine instruments and everything looked fine. I mean, everything was fine. Oil pressure was good. Water temperature was good, RPMs looked stable. You know, by the time I had looked down at everything, I was like, oh, what's the issue? What's happening here? So, you know, basic things are, you know, maintain control of your ship, your boat, whatever it is, and then analyze the situation and take the proper action. Basic rules. The other thing going down the engine room, I mean, there was no thud or anything, but I'm thinking, okay, I'm going down there at least to look and see if we're taking on water someplace. You can have Rev pan out at this buoy here, this green can here, going upriver, so red's on the right, but you can see the amount of current that we're facing here. And with 1400 RPM, just doing about 9 miles per hour. Which is a pretty good cruising speed for us. You know, we're using a lot more fuel, but you know, not too bad. Upbound on the St. Lawrence River, Cornwall is our stop. Estimating getting in there just a shade after noon. So Rev will be thinking about getting ready, and I know the first thing she's going to ask me is what side we tying on. So I did correspond with the Marina via email and ask, hey, can you tell us where our slip is? Maybe send us a diagram. And I'll be doing a little recon on it, looking at Navionics and Waterway Guide, seeing if they do have a website that has a dock layout to try to make it a little bit easier for it. So the weather's good. We have a little bit of wind out there. It's nice and cool. We've talked to the Marina via email and could not get a dock layout from them. You know, looked at overhead stuff, looked at Waterway Guide, looked at Navionics, and so kind of came up empty and said, hey, where are we going to park? And hey, as you come in, just it's off to the right, the wall to the right. Okay, well, sometimes those directions are a little misleading. So what I did was I went on Navionics and I put a little icon, a blue house icon, as to where I thought it was, took a screenshot and emailed that back to them, and then asked them questions about their depth. Is this the right spot where the blue icon is? Yes, they said, and they answered back about the depth. It was 6 to 7 feet in that area, because there were some notes in Navionics, Active Captain Waterway Guide, those types of things about depth being a little skinny in there. So did that, and now we have a ship coming. It's about 500 feet long, not as big as the last one that we approached, but I just made a good 10-degree turn to my starboard. That way he knows, he sees us. The other thing that I did is, even though the weather's good, every once in a while I turn that radar on to see, hey, is it picking up things out there? And it picks up these buoys that are out there, so I have confidence that my radar is working. And we'll see that here as the radar is bouncing off of those particular returns. So I've got enough displacement from the ship now. I'm going to kind of hug the red, give him plenty of berth, and you can see on here is there is a radar return right where that green buoy is out there, and so that gives me confidence that, hey, my radar is tuned up in case I need it. Now, we don't plan to run in fog and the rain and at night, but you never know. We've had it before where, hey, we just hit some fog, and it's nice to know that that radar is working. We are docked at Marina 200, and we had one of the dock hands come over here, help us out. Not too busy, and I'm glad, because I was a little concerned about the depth in here, and our depth is saying, hey, 5.2 under the sensor, so it's a good 7 feet deep here, which is good. We just get, when we came in, we got a lot of extraneous soundings because there's a lot of seagrass out there. So we are going to take it easy and have the whole rest of the day to chill out, maybe catch up on some errands and things like that. So see you next time on What Yacht To Do.